everyone. We are back again. This is the Queen's Home Team, and my name is Abigail Herrera, and I'm accompanied by my husband and business partner, George Herrera.
Hello,
and
everybody.
Here we are together for the Q&A with the Queen's Home Team. So these are some questions that we find either people have contacted us about or we found on Reddit forums, right?
Yeah, or come in the field as we speak to buyers and sellers.
Yeah, and we found it interesting because inquiring minds want to know, right, George?
Yep, that's right.
All right, so this is our question for today. Put in a ton of money into the house, have to move for work. Bought my house last year for $715,000. It was in decent shape, but needed a lot of work, and it hasn't been updated in ages. Put $230,000 into the home from my investment portfolio, planning on it being our forever home. New steel roof, master bath gut and remodel, new kitchen, updated HVAC from its underpowered state, new engineered wood deck, new water system and water heater, whole house gen and solar. Well, you know what they say, you plan and God laughs. Now we need to move from my job. Realtors I've talked to say they would only price a house at about $860 to $880 based on the market comps. No other houses within 5 miles have the amount of updates I have put in. The only thing close would be some brand new builds. But the realtors all told me that the appraisal won't take into account even half of the money I put in. So George, what say you?
Okay, so what's the question there? Are they...
So the question really is...
Oh, I guess am I SOL?
Yeah.
So there's a lot to unpack there, but the short answer, right, is that you bought your house, planning on it to be your forever home. Now you have to relocate. You put in $230,000 in renovations.
So the initial price bought 1 year ago.
Yeah.
The property was bought 1 year ago for $715,000. It
Put
was
in
in decent
$230,000.
shape and needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
So put in $230,000.
So you're
Okay.
715, 915, 30, 945. So you're in it for 945, not even counting closing
And this
costs.
was just last year.
And it was just last year.
Yes, and now you have to move for work.
Yeah, the appreciation right now, prices are relatively flat. So let's say at best you're up 2 or 3%.
And
So
realtors that they met with said
860, 880, which sounds about right, right? That sounds about right. Because normally you don't get dollar for dollar. So just because you put in 230,000 in renovations doesn't mean you get 230,000 in added value, even if you use the best of the best materials. So this is a classic example of what we would call over improvement. And we've seen this in houses where just like this, an owner puts in, 200, 300,000 worth of renovations, but that doesn't actually equate to the increase in value. And we've seen it in apartments too, where they put 80,000, 100,000, and the added value for fully renovated might be 40 or 50,000. So this is a classic example of that.
But may I interject for a moment? So the caveat here, though, which was obviously unexpected, is that the job.
Yeah.
And let's say someone actually put that amount of money in, thinking it was in fact going to be their forever home, which was the plan.
Yeah.
And over time, could they have absolutely gotten that money back or more? Yes. But you're talking about a difference of only 1 year.
Yeah. So normally, in a situation like this, your first option would be to rent it out. And hopefully, if you did that much work, you should be able to command a really high rent. And hopefully the rent that you can get for that property will cover your mortgage, your PITI, your principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and any maintenance. They'll pay the utilities. So let's assume this is a single family house. They'll pay the utilities. So all you got to cover is your mortgage, taxes, and insurance. So hopefully you can do that. Even if you just break even, that's a good way, because real estate over time will go up and you will most likely get that 230 back. But if you just can't and you actually need the money that's in the house in order to make the move and you have no option, then you will end up most likely having to take the loss. So hopefully that's not the case, but we always say selling should be the last option. And so I would say in that kind of situation, hopefully you can rent it out, cover all the bills, have the tenants pay the mortgage for you over time, build the equity, and then you can sell it in the future. And if you just can't afford to do that, then unfortunately you'll have to take that big loss.
And lesson was learned.
Yeah.
But who can tell? No one can tell unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
So for you, sir or madam, then I hope for you didn't really take a huge loss.
Yeah. And one tip here, this is for any future homeowner, even for Abby and I, when we're doing renovations in our house, we're always very mindful of the renovation, the cost, and what it will bring in value. So, you can get carried away. And
yes.
You can get carried away and splurge on every single little piece and every little material, every item, and easily it can get away from you. And then at a certain point, you're just doing it for your enjoyment because you're actually not adding any more value to the property. So it's always good to be mindful of the cost and what will that add in value to the house. Yeah. So
all right.
Good luck to these homeowners in their new relocation job.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
hopefully
George,
they're getting paid a lot.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for your answer, and keep the questions coming. We're very excited to have this segment for our YouTube channel. Click subscribe, like if you have any questions, or if
Yes.
you'd like us to address a question on our YouTube channel, feel free to message us, and we're very excited to hear from you.
Yes.
Thanks so much for taking the time to watch us today. This is George and Abigail Herrera with the Queen's Home Team. Peacing out. Take care, everybody.
Take care.